A beam ship, a Pleiadian beam ship. So the first visit was on January 28th, 1975. He was allowed to take a few pictures. The craft landed. He tried to approach, and he was arrested by an unknown force within 50 meters of the craft. His first contact with the Pleiadians had begun. You call us extraterrestrials or starmen, and you attribute to us superhuman powers. Even though you do not know us regarding this, we are men like you, but our knowledge and our understanding exceeds yours considerably, especially in the technical field. Semjase, 1975. Now, there was a lot of investigation, which I'll get into, that was done on his original negatives and photos, and we're talking companies that work for NASA, top-level photography forensic companies, and they concluded in their documents, in some of the other books that I will get into, that these pictures appeared to be exactly what they look like, a large metallic object in the sky a considerable distance from the camera. Now, in their trip from the Pleiades in these types of craft, it took 7 hours to travel 500 light years. And basically the first 3 hours, 3.5 hours, was to approach the speed of light with one type of propulsion system, and then they went into a null type, no space propulsion that basically overcame time and space, and in the blink of an eye they traveled the bulk of their 500 light years. They had to come out of that mode away from the solar system, and then the next 3.5 hours was basically slowing down. Although terrestrial man may have taken his first step into space, this is still a question of primitive attempts. Even though he has been able to fly to your moon with missiles, he still has to reach space, because to achieve this, and he needs a force propulsion that is able to produce a hyperspace velocity so that tremendous distances are reduced to something navigable. Then space and time are overcome by non-space and non-time. That is, space and time are reduced almost to annihilation. To the mastering of this technology, fractions of your seconds are sufficient to encompass light years of your calculation. Semjase. On many occasions, space travelers have visited your Earth from other stars. 108 different civilizations at last count, sometimes from very distant systems like ourselves. On occasion, accidental contacts, which are unique, may take place with Earth people. Semjase. It now flew completely noiselessly, and I could see the exact form. It was a disc-form craft with similar top and base. Edward Billy Meyer, 1975. Within a short time, I will get a new beam ship, which you will be allowed to photograph closely to get better pictures. Semjase. Now, Colonel Wendell Stevens was one of the principal investigators, a retired colonel in the Air Force, a squadron commander, one of the world's top ufologists on the planet. We have yet to uncover or document any explainable method Mr. Meyer could have had of acquiring these unusual facts other than through the contacts themselves as he describes. Colonel Wendell Stevens, 1977, Chief Investigator. He spent thousands of his own dollars, and some of the books I will present he privately published. One called the Preliminary Investigative Report, which is about 540 pages. The Supplemental Investigative Report, message volumes, which are basically transcripts of the conversations that took place between Billy and Semjase, verbatim.